we obtained a leaked email from Customs and Border Protection. It was an internal email that was sent in April 2023. And at the heart of the email are a number of changes to the way that border agents are to vet Chinese illegal immigrants. They really fall into two categories. The first, which is in the email that we linked to and which we've tweeted out, is that the agents are no longer required to perform what's called phone downloads, which is when they encounter an illegal and they then take their phone, plug it into a machine, and cross-reference their data against a database containing known terrorist organizations and hostile entities. Secondly, they have taken what was a pre-existing list of approximately 40 questions, which they referred to as, quote unquote, an in-depth interview, and they've reduced that down to 5, quote unquote, basic questions that they would ask the Chinese illegal immigrants that they encounter. And so what we found is that the questions that are remaining, according to the individual who shared this email with us on the condition of anonymity, fearing U.S. government reprisal, his opinion, as well as an expert's opinion, is that in effect this has sped up the flow. It's increased the speed at which the agents are processing and admitting Chinese illegal immigrants into the United States. It's lowered the bar for them to enter. And the only questions that are remaining out of the original 40 are 5 questions which seek to determine whether or not they have ties to the Chinese government, Chinese Communist Party, Chinese military, or there's another category which is for their place of origin, and that is to determine if they have any ties to Islamic terrorism. Specifically, they're looking at the western province of Xinjiang and the Uyghur ethnicity. And so that those are the 5 questions. We also got a hold of the previous list of approximately 40 questions to sort of compare those, and that list had an additional couple categories. For instance, checking out if these individuals have any type of weapons training, information regarding the exact type of smuggling operation that they might have been a part of, et cetera, and so on.
Did your source give you any insight into why they're expediting this process? Do you know why?
Yes, and so speaking with them, there's a theory. We don't have the exact reason, but the theory is that the number of Chinese illegal immigrants, and just, of course, across the board, the number of illegal immigrants total has increased exponentially. And 23 email, the process to vet Chinese illegal immigrants took upwards of 2 to 3 hours. Now, you have to imagine that the average Border Patrol agent does not have any type of Chinese language background, and so they were relying entirely on Google Translate to run through this document of some 40 questions. They were also using, at times, apparently there were some linguists, some translators associated with this operation, but they were few and far between. And so ultimately they were just overrun, and they were unable to process the vast number of individuals. And so it seems like they have just decided to, as one of our experts who is a former Border Patrol agent, so beautifully put, trying to just cover their own asses, trying to say, hey, we've done something. We've quote unquote vetted these folks. And when later on something occurs, they can point to that, when in actuality, they have not even scratched the surface. Because after asking these 5 basic questions, the vast majority of individuals are just released then into the interior of the United States, and they connect with one of these NGOs that your last guest, Mr. Howell, was referring to. And, that doesn't really instill much confidence in the American citizen that there could be, whether they're individuals connected with the cartels or connected with the Chinese government or worse, just running around the interior. And they've been given apparently a order to appear before a judge at times now because of the backlog, some maybe 10 years into the future in 2031 or something like that. It's just preposterous.